Right. I hope you can see me.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
So, a very good evening, everyone. We'll be starting our presentation sessions now. Please raise your hands and we'll go by the order of raised hands. So, first we have Sahil with us. Yeah, Sahil. So, tell me your topic name. You can start presenting.
Is it visible, sir?
Yeah, the screen is visible.
Okay. So,
Yeah, tell me your topic name.
my topic is walkthrough Adalo. So,
Okay.
hi everyone. I'm Sahil, third year undergraduate student IIT Ropar. My batch is 16th my batch and I am web developer group. So my today's presentation topic is to make a responsible website using the Adalo. So in this presentation, we are going to see the following things like task instructions, that what task instructions are given to me, and then the introduction part, then tools and technology that I have used to make this website, then line chart, then we will see about the design of the website, then we will see about the demo of the website, then references. So task instructions. So in this presentation, we are going to see about the Adalo and we will explore the different functionalities. So in this presentation, we will create a multiple page responsive website, and website will have the functionalities like navbar, buttons, list, and a form submission along with the data storage. So what is real-time stock market development website? So this website is basically is a platform to provide the users data about the stocks, like opening and closing price of the stocks, the lowest and highest price of the stocks, volume of the stocks that are traded, and dividend amount the company's pays. So, and in this platform, we provide all the information with the graphical visualization. Tools and technology. So in this, to make this project, we have used the mainly Adalo, which is a no-code platform to create a responsible website, and we can make the website just with the drag and drop functionalities. Next is React.js and Chart.js that I have used to make a graphical visualization and to show the functionality how can we add an external page to. Next is the Vantage API, and another is News API to get the data. And to host the React.js, I have used Versal. So what is line chart? Line chart is basically the graphical visualization of the data along with the line. So here it is red line which is showing the low, and there is a green line which is showing the high price of the stock. And on the y-axis there are the stock prices, and below there are the date at a particular date, what was the highest price that a stock reached to, and what is the lowest price at that particular day. So this graph will be visualized on the home page, and then we have a news page. So in this, I have used the news API and extracted the articles from there. And on this page, these articles will be visualized to the user to show the functionality of the list in Adalo. And this is the login page where we have used how can we take the user input to store the data. Also, we have shown the login button and forgot password. Now I want to show you the demo of this project. So this is the project, and as we have to make the multiple page website, so in this website there are 4 pages. One is login page, another is sign up page, another is home page, and another is news page. And here we have stored some data also, like in users I have stored an email and password of a user, because we have to show this functionality of the Adalo also, email ID and password. And also from the news API, I have extracted some of the data and stored some articles information like title, image, URLs, and IDs. And another is a stock data that of a one company, which is IBM. I have stored some data like opening and closing price to show the line chart of Adalo. Now I want to show you the live demo of this project. So here is our website. So this is the home page. Here is the, I have shown an image of data of an IBM company, and here I have shown the highest particular day, and below it I have shown the dividend amount that the company pays. And then we have a news page. Okay, so so these are the news articles loaded here, and it has the functionality of infinite scroll. As we scroll down, new articles will automatically loaded and are shown here. And as we click on any of the article, it will redirect to the page from where this article is taken. And also this is the page of sign up, and here is the page of login, and one external page that I have added on this website, which is created by me. Here we can check the stock data about the any company. Like as I write some name, it gives us some suggestion also. So like I want to check Tata Motors. So I click on here, so it will show me the real-time data of the stock price, like opening, closing price, low, high price. So it is showing all the data through the graph. And by clicking, we can also see that at that particular point, the point is 473, and at a particular date we can also show the lowest price also. So this I have shown here as a graphical visualization. So that is in this demo. So here are the references that I have used, like React.js. I have used this website for news API, Alpha Vintage, and Adalo resources that I used to how can we add the line chart in Adalo. So thank you so much, sir. Here I am open for the questions, and you can also mail me at this given email address.
Right, so it's over.
Hello, excuse me.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so is the presentation over?
Yes, sir.
Right, so task is walk through of Adalo app, right?
Yes, sir.
Right, so give me a summary of what do you understand by your task.
So in this task, basically we have to understand how can we use the different components, and we can add and make a responsive design of a Adalo.
Okay. Okay. Then why was there a need for line chart?
That is also a built-in functionality of Adalo.
Right.
That is
So
also a component.
was there a deliverable for your task? Like were there any specific deliverables like you?
No, sir. No.
So you have added it on your own. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what other use can be done from Adalo? This was like for you use it for real time stock data, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for monitoring and getting data from like vintage, alpha vintage, everything. What other usage can you think about for this Adalo app?
Basically, we can make any app and website using this.
Mm-hmm. Like that's what I'm asking. Uh, yeah, can you hear me? Uh, so am I audible to anyone else?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so his network went off. Okay, okay. Well, okay, that as well. Yes, Sahil, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Right. That yeah. So the question was, what other way can you use Adalo app? Because you use it for like real-time stock data, and you explained it by going through your homepage panel and everything. So I'm just asking, what other idea can you think about using Adalo app? Right. I believe I think it is
This is
facing.
the 4 pages that I
Okay.
know.
Yes, I think you have having network issues.
Yes.
Okay. So talking about your real-time stock data itself, is having network issue. Okay. Let's wait for a minute. Maybe he'll get back, or else we'll move forward. Right. I believe he is not going to come back now. So let's move forward. Next, we have Harsh Aditya with us. Yeah, Harsh, you can share your screen.
Mm.
Yeah, you are audible.
Thanks for as well. But started my video.
Yeah, please turn on your camera.
Am I not visible?
Why is everyone having internet issues? Right. So let's move forward. We have Khateja said with us. Yeah. Can you please share your screen and
Yes, sir.
yeah, turn your camera on as well. Right. What's your topic name?
Our topic for today is Synopsis overview on stock market data.
Okay. From which group you are?
I'm from 16th June group,
And
web developer.
web developer. Okay. Overview, basically.
Shall I start, sir?
Yeah, you can start.
Good evening, everybody. This is Khateja Sayed, and today my topic is stock market data web application. As we all know, in today's fast-paced and ever-evolving financial landscape, staying up to date and taking timely decisions is crucial. And that's why I'm here to introduce you to a tool that harnesses the power of stock market data web application. The main objective of our website is to create a user-friendly interface that brings real-time stock market data and presents it in a user-friendly interface to investors, traders, and financial professionals. We aim to provide a consolidated platform that would be updated up to the minute, and it helps users to take informed decisions. Let's see the key features we have in the website. The very first key feature we have in our website is the real-time stock market data. Our web application pulls real-time stock market data from external APIs. The data pulled includes the stock prices, essential market insights, and market volumes. And it presents these pulled data in a user-friendly format, which helps investors to make informed decisions based on the data we are providing through our website. The next feature we have is user authentication and security. We have implemented a user authentication and security feature in our website to make sure that our users' personal data and the investment details are secure. This also helps us to create a user-friendly, to secure and trustworthy environment for our users. The third feature we have is easy to understand format. We have created our website as easy to understand format, which helps investors to track through their investments from anywhere, and it also helps investors to get the details of in which part they have to make the investments. This includes user-friendly navigation and initiative charts and diagrams also. The next feature we have is a responsive design. Responsive design is one of the main points in today's high-tech world. This means that the investor can access the data from anywhere and through any device he wants, which includes mobile phones, laptops, desktops, and tablets also. This helps us to create a seamless user experience in our website. Next is the technologies we have used in our website. Let's see. For front end, we have utilized HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React.js. These technologies for front end help us to create a user-friendly interface. For back end, we have utilized Node.js, Express.js, and for storing the real-time data, we have used MongoDB. MongoDB is a NoSQL database which is scalable and flexible for storing real-time data. For APIs, we have used AlphaVantage API, which helps us to retrieve real-time data. And the other one is Muse API, which provides investors, which helps us to provide investors with the up-to-date news. Next are the challenges we have faced. Data synchronization and latency. One of the biggest challenges while developing this website was data synchronization and latency, which means pulling data from real-time stock market data from external APIs and synchronizing it with our website's database was challenging, and it requires efficient data integration techniques. The next challenge was the scalability and performance optimization. Handling large volume of data and rendering it in a user-friendly format was quite challenging. This helped us to by overcoming this challenge, we developed a user-friendly interface for our website. Security and privacy is another challenge. Implementing robust user authentication and making sure that our users' data is secure, the transactions they are making, the investors are making are secure, was also a challenge. Although facing these challenges, we have got the deliverables as follows. The implementation, although the financial, fully functional and highly responsive website is being delivered. The next is the documentation, comprehensive documentation, which outlines the applications process, different phases, which includes also development, design, and architecturing. It also includes whatever we are using for our website. The presentation. This means that a visually engaging and informative presentation that helps us showcasing the data we are, the things we are using in our project. Next, let's see the original synopsis report. This is the report. Index, which signifies what we have included. A brief introduction for our website. Project significance, which includes why we are developing and some of the main features. These are the brief core aspects, which includes the main features, as I already have mentioned: real-time stock market data, user authentication, easy to understand format, and responsive design. Next are the softwares, the technologies we have used for front-end, back-end, data management, and APIs integration. The challenges we have faced: data synchronization, latency, and scalability and performance optimization, security and privacy. Although facing these challenges, we have got the following deliverables, sir. The implementation, documentation part, and the presentation part. And at the end, we have got the conclusion. So in conclusion, the real-time stock market data web application we have discussed today provides the investors with a seamlessly user-friendly interface, and it helps them to make real-time data. It helps them to make investment decisions, informed decisions based on the real-time data we are providing with our website. It also helps users to make informed decisions based on these data. Thank you for your time, and I look forward for any questions. Hello?
Right. So is it over?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, I believe your PPT is not complete yet. You're talking about conclusion, but there is no conclusion slide.
Oh,
And there has to be a Q&A slide as well at the end, where you should be mentioning your GitHub link or Gmail, so that if anyone
yes.
comes up with any doubt, so they can reach out to you at that mail. Right.
Okay, sir. I'll make sure to do it next time.
Yeah. So talking about the PPT, see, your PPT formatting is very good. Okay. It's just it lacks the actual deliverable which was mentioned in the mail. So have you heard about SRS document?
No, sir.
Okay. So see, what I'm talking about is uh, you were to deliver exactly how you are going to build the website.
Okay.
Right. So basically, you were about to give me something like step by step procedure. Like how are you going to build? Let's say I appoint you like a team of software developers, right? So you are going to be heading them, right? Now, can you tell me whether they can build a website following this PPT?
No, sir.
Like there is
This
no
is just a brief
specified, yeah,
introduction.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because there is no specific step by step. See, you're talking about point A, point B, point C, but how
Yeah.
are you going to connect those points? Like, is it A to B to C, or is it C to A to B? Right. So the main procedure, the main steps are not mentioned. You did mention and gave a brief idea about all the technologies you're going to use, like the alpha vintage and everything. But how are you going to connect them? Like what's going to be shown on the very first like your panel or on the very first screen as someone logs in, whether there be any like directly data from like stock data, or will there be any like purchasing things, something like that, right? So there was no proper deliverable of the design or anything. If you check your mail, can you check? Can you please open your mail?
Okay.
Yeah, and go to the deliverable section. You're from web developer group, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you must be having that. This is your second task, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Which
So
will be doctor's website.
okay,
Deliverables.
yeah. So a fully functional real-time stock data web application. Documentation, you have done it. That's good.
Yeah.
And the features, yeah. Documentation outlining the design. That's the point I'm talking about. Outlining the design, like how are you going to plot.
Oh, I'm
Like,
supposed to show a flowchart kind of.
yeah, kind of exactly like a step by
Okay.
step. How are you going to connect them? How are you going to like how are you going to start building that website?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you did talk about the features and it's good, but yeah, as I'm saying, like there's no proper procedure for it, right? So that you can actually add development. Yeah, rest your presentation was good. You did talk about the features and the application. You do complete the PPT and resubmit it, because you talked about conclusion, but there was no slide. I believe you did miss there. And can you just scroll up? Right. So yeah, formatting is good. when you start the presentation, there has to be a hook story for you gave a introduction about the task, but there was no
Yeah.
hook story, like a why, a why are you doing this task can be used as a hook story. Okay, I've mentioned this many times before. So uh, since this is your second task, uh, whom did you present your first task, doctor?
It was the other sir. I don't remember
Yeah,
his name.
yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sure.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
and he did mention about the hook story in this year. The
I
rest, I believe you covered everything, right? And
Okay,
that's all from my side.
thank you.
Yeah, sure. So let's move forward. We have Gayatri, Baratam with us, right? So, yeah, Gayatri, please share your screen.
Hello.
Yeah, you're audible.
Sir, is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's visible now.
Yes.
Computer science solution work,
Hello.
right? Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, I'm Gayatri. My assigned task is to find the popular data science techniques that are used in stock market. These are the contents we're gonna be discussed now. Uh, these are the techniques I found in the stock market. I found that these 7 are the popular data science techniques in stock. The methodology is same for all the data science techniques. Firstly, we have to collect all the raw data from the open source. After that, we have to pre-process the data. It means that here the data scaling, the data normalization, everything will be happen here. So we have to import the data. In Python, we are using the 2 libraries, it imports all the data, the pandas and numpy. Here the data visualization also takes place. It visualizes the stock charts in the form of graphs. For data visualization, we are using matplotlib. Feature selection, it means that here it cancels the sound and reduces the input. Here we separating the data into training dataset and test dataset. Training dataset, here we are using the one of the algorithm. The algorithm is assigned within a model for testing. After that, creating the model with using the training data, we are testing the model with the factors like root mean square, mean absolute, mean square error. It means that it actually tells that the how much the data, how much actual data is affected to the error. Linear regression, here one independent variable is there and one or more independent one dependent variable is there, one or more independent variables are there. Using that one dependent variable, we'll be drawing the slope and intercept. The slope defines that for 1 unit of dependent variable, how much units of independent variables are varied. Whereas the intercept, it predicts uh, if the independent variable is 0, it predicts the dependent variable. It shows the relationship between the independent and dependent variable. These are the evaluation metrics used in this linear regression. R square, it is the score of regression. If the R square value is 1, it means that it is a perfect model. RMSC and MAE and MSC, these are the models that is used for the evaluation of the error. These are the results that I got in linear regression. Sir, should I show my demo now?
Right, go ahead.
Firstly,
Are you having some trouble?
sir.
Are you having some trouble?
Sir, it's not fine.
Okay.
Firstly, we are importing the NumPass and Pandas libraries for pre-processing. Here, we have selected linear model.
I believe you are showing your demo, right?
Yes, sir.
It's not visible. We are still on the PPT. I think you didn't share your full screen.
Sir, yes, sir. Wait.
You can just stop sharing and reshare.
Sir, now?
Right, it's visible now.
Here, we are importing NumPy and Pandas for data pre-processing. For model selection, we use linear regression and matplotlib for data visualization. After that, here we uploaded the data. Here I use the Tesla stock data. Data.head, it returns the data, top data. It gives the info. Here I use the data information, data describe. It describes all the model of the stock Tesla. I just checked the X and Y values. I splitted the data according to the train test and test model. The regressor I use linear regression. I printed the intercept. By using here I plotted the difference between actual and the predicted data for calculating the mean absolute error, mean square error, and square root of this root mean square error. I got these values by plotting the actual and the predicted value. This is the graph for linear regression. Time series analysis. This is another popular data science technique used in stock market. It is just the collection of the data points against the various periods of time. It consisting of the 4 time series decomposition. Trend, it means that the long run increase or decrease of the stock market. Seasonal means short run decrease of the market. It occasionally occurs in 1 year. Cyclic means here the long run increase of the data. Irregular means fluctuations of the random data. For example, it means that noise in the time series. Time series are classified into 2 types, univariate and bivariate. Univariate means one dependent variable is defined, and bivariate, one or more dependent variables is defined. There are 2 types of time series, stationary and non-stationary. In general, the traditional time series, whereas the non-stationary data is converted into stationary data, where the noise is removed, and the stationary data is converted into the AI model. The AI model is predicted, and the noise is added, and we'll get the original time series. Here, by using the traditional time series analysis, we'll be not getting the proper results. These are the evaluation metrics of the time series analysis. By plotting the actual and the predicted value of the time series, this is the graph I obtained. For time series analysis, we imported the NumPy and pandas. Here, for time series analysis, there are different models like ARIMA, ARMA. Here, the auto-regressive integrated moving average. It is the integrated version of ARMA. We have calculated the mean square error and the absolute error. The data I used Google Stocks data. The data is loaded. Here we are checking the rolling mean and rolling mean deviation. It means that here why we are checking means if the rolling deviation is a straight line, it means that the data we got is the stationary data. So the data should be converted into non-stationary, but the rolling mean and the rolling mean deviation, we didn't get a straight line. These are the time decomposition, trend, seasonal, residual, and the other one, the original. We have calculated the moving average. It means that the kth last term of the stationary data, the average of the kth last term of the stationary data is calculated. Here we divided into training and test data. For closing, we have imported ARIMA model. For ARIMA model, we are importing PDQ. P means that regression. Here, D means that deviation, and Q. By importing the ARIMA model, we got the graph between actual and the predicted of Google stock price. The other algorithm is kth nearest algorithm. It means that the data points are randomly distributed at a certain during the training phase. We will be labeling the feature factors during the prediction phase. The unlabeled the data points. Here we'll be indicating the kth point. It means that we'll be searching from one point. The points which are near to the k point, the distance is calculated between them by using the Euclid distance. The algorithm itself, it assigns for classification, it assigns a class label. For regression, it predicts the target value based on the majority. The average of the k's nearest neighbor is defined. The evaluation metrics used for the k's nearest neighbor are RMSC, MSC, and MAE. This is the graph of time for the k nearest neighbor. For KNN, we imported pandas and NumPy from sklearn. For calculating the mean, RMSC, MAE, and MSC, we are importing from sklearn metrics. The KNN model uses a sequential data, so we are importing the sequential. We have uploaded here I use Reliance stock data. Here we uploaded the Reliance data. It checks the null values. If there is any, it removes them. If it removes them, we formatted the data according to the date. It gives the shape of the data set. Here we are calculating the opening price and the closing price for this data. We are plotting the opening price and the closing price for the stock data for all the months. Here we are calculating the high price and the low price, the graph of the high price and the low price. Now we are plotting all four in one chart. This stock analysis chart. Here we are importing the KNN. After importing, we are divided into trained data set and test data set. We are calculating RMSC, MSC, and MAE. Here we are also calculating R square, score of the regression. The trained data is used for plotting. This is the graph for the opening train predicted close price and test predicted close price for KNN. Support vector regression. It is used to predict the continuous target variables than discrete class variables. In training data set, it with input features, it draws the hyperplane. It is a positive hyperplane and negative hyperplane. Depends on the factor, regulation factor. It means that the lower value of the C, it means the lower value of the regulation factor having the higher margin, high error. If the regulation factor is low, it having the high error. If the regulation factor is more, it having the less error. The support vector regression depends on the regulation factor. This is the result obtained for the support vector regression. The support vector regression is used for the sequential data. For this also I used Reliance stock data. We have imported NumPy and pandas, loaded the data set, renamed the columns, we are checking the null values, dropping the null values, formatting according to the date. Here again we are calculating the opening price, closing price, high price, and the low price. By calculating these four values, we get stock analysis chart. Here for calculating the predicted and true values, we will be using the closed price. So why you are using the closed price means it is easy to understand for the short-term traders. By using the closed price chart, we will be dividing the data set into training and the testing model. Then after, here we are doing some time step. Imported the SVR model, calculated RMSC, MAE and MSC. This is the final chart for the SVR, the trained predicted close price and the test predicted close price. Long short term memory. It is RNN model. It is an RNN model consisting of the memory cells, input memory cell, output memory cell, and forgot gate. It means input gate. We will be giving the input. The input is taken from the sigmoid function. If the sigmoid function, it means that the value is ranges between 0 to 1. If the value is 1, the value is passed through this point by point multiplication. Whereas the forget gate, the unnecessary, the data is dropped, is managed by this forget gate. The output gate, it gives the output of the other gates. Here the sigmoid function, it gives the data value between 0 to 1. The tan function, it is used for the back propagation. These are the results of the long short term memory. The long short term memory doesn't contain any hidden states. The data is passed through all the gates like input, forget, and output. These three gates are processed by the cell state. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Right, am I audible?
Yeah, sir, it's taking time to load for the Kaggle. I'll
Right.
have my presentation, sir.
Yeah, okay. You can just continue with the presentation.
Random forest regressor. It is another data science technique. Here, the one data set is divided into several trees. These trees, by taking the output from the single tree, by taking the decision from the single tree, it predicts the value. It collects all the values from all the trees. It, by doing the average of all the predictions, it gives the average of it gives the output. For example, if our data set is between the data set of the stock, if the output of the stock, if we plotted a stock, plotted a graph between actual and predicted values, here the random forest regressor, it gives the output by it divides the trees like this. By calculating all the averages of all these predictions, we'll be getting the output. These are the results of the random forest regressor. The RMSE values, MSE and MAE values, and R square value. Gated recurrent unit. It is an extended version of the LSTM. Whereas in LSTM, the input upper gate both are combined to give an update gate. The update gate, it just gives the value. Here it also uses a sigmoid function. This gives the value direct to the hidden layers, whereas the reset gate, it is used to reset the value, reset the system. When comparing to the LSTM, the GRU is having the high efficiency and high accuracy. The RMSE value of the GRU is lower than LSTM. These are the results of the GRU. By comparing all these results, by comparing all the RMS values in general, by comparing all the RMSE value, the model which having the less RMSE value, having more accuracy, these five algorithms are regression algorithms, whereas coming to the linear, these five algorithms work on sequential data, whereas linear regression, it works on the cross-sectional data. It means that linear regression, it is only used for the smaller data sets. These five algorithms are used for the higher data sets, and the efficiency comparing to the linear regression, these five algorithms having high efficiency and high accuracy. By comparing all these five algorithms, the GRU having the less RMSE value, it means that it's having the high accuracy. The least algorithm having the less accuracy is KNN. It having the highest RMSE value, it means that the root mean square error, it having the highest amount of errors. Why? Because as we know that in KNN model, we have to define one kth point. By using the kth point, we have to find the distance between all other data points, and we have to label them based on like a class label or target label. By it's taking the lots of time, so KNN having the least accuracy. On the other hand, the time analysis is only used for analyzing the data over a time. It only depends on the present trends and patterns of the data. These are the references I used. Thank you.
Right. Are you done? Gayatri?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you are done, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Please reshare your presentation.
So should I show my presentation?
Yeah, your presentation, right. Right. So let's talk about the presentation itself. See, there was a detailed analysis of all the steps and techniques which we use. Can you tell me one thing? Why do you need these techniques, like for the stock?
Sir, as the stock market
Mm-hmm.
change, the value of the stock daily changes, sir. For
Right.
every company, the data continuously changes. There will be ups and downs in the data. In general, human beings can't be calculate all these values and can't. There will be human errors. By
Right.
using AI models,
Right.
means that we can increase the accuracy.
Mhm.
The human errors can be reduced.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. What I'm talking about is this could have been added to your hook story. So you started properly. There was a good introduction, but you directly jump on the main like techniques, the steps, all the other methods, right? Methodology, how you're going to go, right? So there was like no hook story at the start. So the thing which you used just now could have been added as your hook story.
So could you,
Yeah. Can you hear me?
sir, yes, sir.
Yeah. So was I not audible earlier?
Sir, now I'm audible. Now your voice is audible, sir.
Oh, okay. What I'm trying to say here is the explanation which you just gave me, right, could have been used as a hook story at the very start of the presentation, right? So when you started the presentation, you directly jumped on the like what are the techniques and the methodology used in the project, right? So instead of that, you could have added this as a hook story. I hope you get it.
Yes, sir.
See, your presentation, like there you mentioned each and every step. You put a detailed analysis on them, and there was a good explanation of the demo part. So 10 on 10 for the demo, right? There was a good explanation for everything. You used graphs, you used good colors. So I'll say the presentation was really good. Okay, you just lacked the hook story part, and at the end of the presentation, right, when you conclude and give the references, just add a Q&A slide. Okay, and the you used Gmail at the end of the like thank you slide, right? So use your Gmail on the Q&A slide, so even if someone gets in a doubt, they can reach out to you on your mail, right? Yeah, I hope you get it everything right.
Yes.
Okay, right. So that's all from my side. It was a good presentation. Right. So let's move ahead. We have Harsh Aditya. I hope your internet is fixed now. Yeah, Harsh.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible now.
One second, let me start my video.
Right.
As well.
Right. I think you are still having internet issues.
Hello.
Yeah, your like video is stuck.
My video is stuck.
Yeah, your video
One
is stuck.
second. Once again, now is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Just share your screen.
Okay. Sharing the complete screen. Can you see the presentation?
Yeah, it's visible.
Once.
You're from which group?
Python developers.
Okay, okay. Yeah, you can start the presentation.
So, good evening, everyone. I am Harshaditya, and I will be presenting my task 2 today, which is Python as stock screener. It's just the wireframe of Python as stock screener. I'm not going to implement it. It's just the idea that how am I gonna implement the Python stock screener, and what are the resources that I need to look upon. So let's start with the presentation. So let's start with a story actually, which will uh, put some light on the relevance of a stock screener, that why we need a stock screener in the first place. So in the vibrant city of Mumbai is a very vibrant city, nestled amidst the bustling streets and towering skyscrapers, lived a young and ambitious investor named Raj. Raj was determined to uncover hidden investment opportunities in the stock market, but the vast ocean of data overwhelmed him. As we know, stock market is very common. Every 1 in 3 people in India today are investing in a stock market, and also many of them are getting huge profits. So one fateful day, Raj stumbled upon a revolutionary tool, the stock shifter application. Intrigued, he swiftly installed on his smartphone and began exploring its features. With a few taps, he could filter stock based on a specific criteria that mattered to him, like the price to earning ratio and the dividend yield. Now, these terms are related to the stock markets. I'll be explaining them in the later part of slide. So let's go on with the next slide. So next is we are moving on with the story. Excitement filled Raj's heart at the stock shifter application swiftly presented him with a curated list of promising stocks. With a deep dive into the financial performance and market reports, Raj unearthed hidden gems that align perfectly with his investment strategy. Buoyed by his newfound knowledge and the user-friendly interface of the stock shifter app, Raj made confident investment decisions. He invested in undervalued companies uh, poised for growth, such as Mumbai-based tech giants and emerging businesses from Bangalore's vibrant startup ecosystem. So one point that I'll uh, really like to acknowledge at this point is developing an application is never a solution until we provide a very friendly user interface. Building an application is never a solution if no one can use it in an easy way. It doesn't give us a full solution. So over time, Raj's portfolio flourished. The stocks he discovered through the stock shifter app outperformed the market, bringing considerable financial success. News of his achievements spread like wildfire among his friends and colleagues who eagerly sought his advice. So now, in the ever-evolving world of the Indian stock market, the stock shifter app became an indispensable companion, guiding a new generation of investors toward their financial dreams, once curated a stock at a time. Soon, the stock shifter application became a game changer for aspiring investors across India. It empowered them to navigate the complexities of the stock market with ease, uncovering hidden opportunities in the fast-paced world of Indian finance. With the stock shifter app at their fingertips, individuals from all walks of life discovered the power to unlock their financial potential. No longer overwhelmed by the overwhelming data, they confidently navigated the stock market, uncovering opportunities in Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, and beyond. The stock shifter app became a symbol of empowerment, transforming the way people approached investing in India. It brought clarity, simplicity, and success to countless investors, forever changing their financial destinies. So I will be talking about the contents of my presentation in this slide. So one second, I'll have to minimize this. So I'll be talking about the content. So first we will be talking about the project overview. Second, the requirement gatherings for the stakeholder, sorry, defining project scope, project and planning and timeline, features and functionalities, mockups, conclusion, questions and answers. So first, talking about the project overview, our project revolves around creating a stock screener application that empowers users to filter stocks based on a specific criteria. With this application, user will have the ability to screen stocks using various parameters such as price to earning ratio, dividend yield, and market capitalization. Now, all these terms are related to the stock markets, as I have already told earlier, and we will be explaining it in the later part of the slide. To accomplish this, we will leverage financial data APIs. Some of the financial data APIs are Mastercard API it's quite famous. Mastercard API, Merge API is quite famous. Array API is quite famous to retrieve real-time stock data, ensuring our users have the most up-to-date information available. Furthermore, we will prioritize creating an intuitive and user-friendly interface to enhance overall user experience. Moving on to the next slide, we will be talking about the requirements gathering. The first requirement gathering that we want to move on with is understanding and incorporating stakeholder requirements is crucial for the success of our project. We have researched for various resources to gather their needs and expectations. We read interviews, surveys, and meetings to ensure we captured a comprehensive range of requirements. We identified the following key requirements from our stakeholders. The first requirement is fast and reliable stock data retrieval. Second is flexibility to filter stocks based on different financial metrics. Third is intuitive and user-friendly interface. Fourth is the ability to save and export filtered stock lists. And the last one is real-time updates and alerts for significant changes in stock data. Moving on to the next slide, we will be defining our project scope. Our project scope is to ensure a focused and achievable project. We define the scope by carefully considering the stakeholder requirements. We have outlined the key features and functionalities that our stock screener application will include. Some of these features include price to earning ratio filtering. Now, what is price to earning ratio? Users can filter stocks based on their price to earning ratio, a common metric for evaluating a company's valuation. Price to earning ratio is basically the price of the stock and the earning of company per stock. Now, what is dividend yield filtering? Users can also screen stocks based on their dividend yield. Dividend yield is the ratio of annual dividends to the stock's current price. Market capitalization filtering. Users can filter stocks based on their market capitalization, allowing them to focus on stocks of a certain size. Additionally, we will include other features based on stakeholder requirements, ensuring our application meets the diverse needs for users. Now we talk about the project planning. So the first, creating a detailed project plan is essential to keep our project on track and ensure its successful completion. Our project plan includes the following elements: project timeline with milestones. We have established a clear timeline with specific milestones to track our progress and stay on schedule. Project timeline, to provide you with an overview of project timelines, here is a visual representation of major milestones and deliverables. First, we will be going with API integration and data retrieval. We will integrate the financial data APIs to retrieve real-time data for the stocks. We will research and identify the appropriate APIs that can provide the required data, create scripts to fetch the data. We will also create a database to store the data for easy retrieval and manipulation. The second is the algorithm development and implementation. Develop algorithms to filter the stock based on user criteria such as price to earning ratio, dividend yield, or market capitalization. As of now, I have not read these algorithms as it's just an outline. So as of now, I have not read the algorithms, but I will be diving deep into the algorithms to how they are used to filter based on the certain criteria. We will also create a custom filter that allows users to filter stocks based on their own criteria. We will implement the algorithms in Python and test them thoroughly to ensure that they provide accurate results. User interface design and its implementation. Design a user-friendly interface for the application that allows users to easily filter stocks based on their requirements. We will use a Python GUI library such as Kinta or PyQt to implement the interface. We will also integrate the interface with the backend functionality to ensure that users can see the filtered result in real time. Now, the last but not the least is the testing and deployment. We will test the application thoroughly to ensure that it is a bug-free and meets the user requirements. We will create unit tests to test the functionality of the application and ensure that it performs well under different conditions. We will then deploy the application on a cloud-based hosting service such as AWS or Heroku so that it can be accessed by the users online. Understanding user needs. So it's a foremost, I like to say it's a foremost consideration that we need to take is we need to understand what the users need from us to deliver an application that truly caters to our users' need. We invested time in understanding their preferences through various user feedback collected and usability studies. We gained valuable insights into their expectations regarding the stock screener application. The understanding influenced our design decisions and helped us prioritize features and functionalities that align with the user's needs. Now, let's talk about some features and functionalities. Let's delve into the features and functionalities that our stock screener application will offer. The first is price to earning ratio filtering. Users can set a minimum and maximum price to earning ratio to filter stocks that fall within their desired range. Dividend yield filtering. Users can specify a minimum dividend yield to filter stocks that meet their desired dividend criteria. The next one is market capitalization filtering. Users can choose to screen stocks based on market capitalization, enabling them to focus on stocks of a specific size. Additional features, we will incorporate other features based on stakeholders' requirements, such as the ability to compare multiple stocks and receive customizable alerts. Now it's the time for wireframes and mockups. Wireframes is quite necessary part of a project. Creating wireframes and mockups helped us visualize the user interface and allowed the stockholders to provide feedback early in the development process. Here are a few examples of our wireframes and mockups showcasing the layout and the design of our screener application. So let's talk something about wireframe. The wireframe represents the basic structure and layout of the stock screener application's user interface. The header contains the application logo and navigation menu. The navigation menu includes options like home, filters, saved, list, and settings. The filters section, it is below the header section, and the wireframe features a prominent filters section. So this section allows users to input their desired filtering criteria such as price to earning ratios, dividend yield, and market capitalization, etc. Results display. Each such stock is displayed as a row, preventing relevant information such as stock symbol, company name, current price, and other key data points. The fifth one is pagination and sorting. It is to manage large result sets. The wireframe incorporates pagination controls at the bottom of the area display. At the bottom of the results display area. So let's look at the wireframe straight away. Talking about the mockup, so this is our application. We can see this is the logo of our application. This is the header, which has 4 sections: home, profile, watch list, and contact. So if we click on the continue, we go forward with the application, and we have search and filter, profile ratio, market capitalization, and shareholding. Is actually it's just a, what can I say, is just a demo. It's not the exact application demonstration. I don't think the application, when I will develop the application, it will look exact like this, but it's just a demo. I have created the wireframe for the mockup. So moving forward, the portfolios will be listed here. So that was all about the presentation. So talking about the conclusion part. In conclusion, our stock screener application project aims to provide users with a powerful tool to filter stocks based on their specific criteria. By gathering requirements from stakeholders, defining the project scope, and creating a detailed project plan, we are confident in delivering a high quality application. Understanding user needs and incorporating their feedback throughout the development process ensures that our application will meet the expectations of our users. So now it's very important to talk about the references that I've used. The first one is very important, that free codecamp tutorial. Medium blog was also very helpful, and this guy Pransu Joshi Jit repo was great. Adobe, I have used Adobe Illustrator for mockups, and project planning and role allocation blog from technologyblogs.com. So I am free to take any questions. If you have any questions, do reach me at aditya1212@gmail.com. That's my personal email ID. You can reach out to me anytime for any questions or queries regarding my presentation or my project. So thank you. That's all for my presentation. And the further weeks, I will involve the implementations of the project. Thank you.
That's done, right?
Yes, it's done.
Okay. Can you tell me the exact name of your topic?
It's the exact name of topic is to create a Python stock screener, but for week 1 and 2, we are just to create the wireframe and show the mockup.
So it's overview of project Synopsis.
Yeah, it's overview of the project.
Right. So please try to mention the exact task name on the very first slide. Okay, and then you can add like subtopic as stock screener. Okay.
Okay.
Right. See.
Okay.
Talking about
I'll keep it in mind.
Yeah. So talking about the presentation, have you taken help of your friend? Because I've seen this demo earlier and the story like.
Yeah. Actually, yes. Actually, I have taken help from a friend. He is in my same college.
Okay.
But we are, we talk. We have a group, Hackveda group actually.
Okay.
So we share ideas with them that
Right.
how to
Because
create a good
yeah,
presentation.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because he already
Yeah.
already shared his own demo at that time.
Actually, the story part was his idea,
Yeah.
my friend's idea. So I was quite
Okay.
intrigued with his idea. So I have also,
Okay.
matlab, I have
Yeah.
also
Right.
added the story section in my presentation.
Okay. So see, talking about
Yeah.
the PPT. See,
Hmm.
your PPT has no uniformity, right? So somewhere there's like big font size, somewhere there's like small font size, and wherever like you are having this too much data in a single slide, now try to zoom this slide because can you just scroll up?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you scroll up? When yeah, no, just scroll up.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just scroll up. Yeah, on the 11th slide. Yeah, you can just zoom in if you are explaining this part. Just zoom
Okay.
in.
Okay.
Yeah, because your font size is
Yeah.
too small.
Okay.
And then can you just
Okay. Yeah.
scroll up?
Okay. Okay. Yes, I will scroll. Sorry. I think I needed to zoom this part also.
Yeah, this one as well. When you
Yeah.
were defining your
Yeah.
project scope, na, there was like it was
Okay. Yeah.
too small to read out. So just
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll keep it
yeah,
in mind.
or you can just use liners or pointers, and then because you are going to explain it anyways, right? So
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
liners or pointers instead of using a whole paragraph. And
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
you covered pretty much everything. There was
Yeah.
conclusion and reference. You could have added the reference link, right?
Okay, yeah, 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 yeah. I
Or
could have added, but actually these are quite famous pages, so I didn't find
yeah,
it
but
right
still,
to.
yeah, I get it. It's famous, but still, you have to add the reference is for
Okay,
links,
okay,
right?
okay, okay,
Right,
okay.
and yeah,
Yes,
there was a good Q&A slide as well. So you have
yeah.
covered pretty much everything. So that's all from my side. Just use your proper font size, like uniform
Okay,
font
okay.
size.
Yes, 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 yes.
Right.
I get that. I'll keep it in mind,
Yeah,
and
right.
next time
Yeah,
I think
that's
I'll improve on it.
okay. That's all from my
Yes.
side.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So next we have Kartikay Singh with us. Yeah, Kartik. You
Yeah,
can share your.
you are able to see me?
Yeah, you are
Excuse me,
visible.
excuse me.
Yes.
Do I need to write down my email in the chat box, or I'll
No,
get
no,
my
no.
marks?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, thank you.
yeah. Yeah, Kartik. Go ahead.
Yeah, just a second.
So, what's the topic?
So, today I'm going to be presenting two topics. First one is software requirement specification
Mm-hmm.
about the interactive stock analysis mobile application.
Okay.
So my name is Kartikay Singh. I am from Mobile App Development Group. And yeah, today's topic is software requirement specification for the application called for the interactive stock analysis. Now let's get started. Yeah, first of all, we'll talk about what we are going to be seeing in this presentation. Then I'll talk about why do we need SRS documentation. Then I'll talk about some of the components of the SRS, some common components. Then the overview of the documentation that I have built, some of the topics that I have covered in the SRS document. And then we'll have a look into the SRS documentation itself. Then I'll conclude my presentation and then there will be reference slide. Now, let's get started. So suppose you are approached by a company to make a stock trading application, right? So your task is to develop an stock trading application, right? So you develop it, and you present the idea or UI to the company, but they were not pleased by the application because one of the main things that they wanted was chart selection kind of thing, like MSD line charts or simple line charts, right? So this miscommunication is due to the fact that you didn't make any notes or any kind of documentation from the company itself. So here is when the SRS documentation come. So it provides a better way of communicating between the developer and the company itself, so that there would be a they are on the same stage while on the journey to develop an application. Now it defines the scope definition. What is scope definition? Scope definition is to define the features of the application and the limitation that could be there in the application while developing it, right? Then they just a second, sir. Uh, just a second. Yeah. And then there is agreement between the two parties that, yeah, this documentation is good enough and you will be adhering to this documentation to develop the application. And if there is anything we don't like, then it is our responsibility that we didn't mention it before, right? Then we can have better cost estimations about the application, because we know all the features and limitation that we are gonna face while developing the app. Then there is a way of validation and verification for the developers to go back to the documentation and look into it so that they could verify the application that they have built. Then we can have better maintenance because we have documentation. We have somewhere saved the document that the company sent us to develop the application. Now let's talk about the components of the SRS documentation. SRS document looks something like this, where we have introduction, description, and requirements in the document. So first up, we have introduction to keep what kind of application that there is, what is there in the application, why we need this application. Then there would be requirements, what kind of requirements users need, and what are the technical requirements needed to develop this app. Then there would be constraints, what constraints would developer face while developing this application. Then the deliverables, what the company wants from us, so that we could deliver exactly what they want. Now let's take a overview of the documentation. So first up is the introduction, in which the we have a CSV file, and user have to upload this CSV file into the application so that he could have a analysis of the same CSV file, right? This is what our application have to do. So let's have user requirements, what the user would need. So user need to have a registration and authentication system for security purposes. And then file upload, the user should be able to upload a CSV file into the application so that he could analyze the stocks. Now there must be some technical analysis tools, data visualization tools to better to have a user friendly application. Technical requirements. So platform to develop this app should be Adalo, and the users for this app would be from iOS or Android. So we have to take this in our mind to develop the application for iOS and Android. Now for the project timeline, for the first month we have to complete the UI or UX design and technical analysis of the implementation. And then for the second second month of the development, we have to integrate it with some tools to have data visualizations, and then test and debug the application. Now let's look into the SRS documentation itself. So here is the SRS documentation. So first up, we have the project plan, what our project name is. So interactive stock analysis. Then we have introduction. As I talked about it earlier, we have a mobile application that allows users to upload a CSV dataset file, and then the application would analyze the dataset and provide a data visualization in the application. Then there are user requirements. So a user should be able to register and authenticate it himself or herself. Then file upload and data management. So user should be able to upload the data or delete the data from the application itself to analyze the data. So technical analysis. So some tools should be there, like MACD line chart, RSI, Bollinger Bands, etc. Right? So user should be able to choose between these multiple technical indicators to upload the dataset. Now the application should be visually representative, like there should be a great way of representing the data from the CSV file. Now data visualization and interpretation, like I have attached a photograph of a pretty typical stock application. So it should be something like this, but with more functionalities as the company has suggested above. Now there should be alerts and notifications for the specific technical events or price movements in the application itself. So user should be able to have some kind of preference or settings in the application to have to better personalize the application. Now for the technical requirements, the platform it should be able to run on both iOS and Android operating system. To develop this application, we should have Adalo. And for data storage and security, we can upload, the user should be able to upload the dataset, and we should be able to encrypt it and store it in our database. Now performance and scalability. So the application should be efficient, like it should not take much time to analyze the data and give us the visual representation of the data. So constraints that we will have in while developing this app is that the application development will be carried out in the Adalo app platform. That so we have to integrate with the third-party applications to have better visualization tools and analysis tools. So we should keep this in mind, and it might be difficult to integrate the third-party application software with the Adalo. Now, what are the deliverables? Deliverables are the interactive stock analysis application developed using Adalo, and user documentation and user guides explaining the application features and usage. So this documentation is required for the next developers there would be, right? So that they could develop the application more. Now, for the project timeline, month one will be we'll gather the requirements, then you design UI, then we'll design the application such that it could upload the file, manage the data, and analyze the same data. For the second month, we'll be more focused on the visualization of the data and alerts and notifications and user profile. like personalization of the application, and then we'll be testing it, and we'll deploy the application at last. So let's go back to the, yeah. So now for the conclusion. So what does the SRS documentation accomplished here? So better communication between the company and the developer itself. So they are able to develop better app and communicate more freely using this uh, documentation. Collaboration, the m- maybe in a project there are many developers, and they have to collaborate somehow. So for us, it is good to have a single piece of document from which the all the developers would see and develop the application. We'll be able to validate our uh, application and verify whether it is correct or not. And at last it will be easier for us to maintain the application, and for the other developers also in the future. Now for the references, I have gone through Geeks for Geeks uh, documentation about the software requirement specifications and Java T point. Uh, Thank you very much. And if you have any question, please ask me here, or you can mail me in the given email account. Yeah, thank you. Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was your first presentation, right?
No, sir. I mean, for the day it was first.
Okay, okay.
For the Hackveda internship, it was my fourth.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. You told earlier, na, ki, like
Yeah.
you got two presentations.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh,
So should I go on to the second, or you want to
yeah,
ask
if
me?
it's yeah, if it's if your PPT is completed, then you can go for second.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So let's get started. So the next topic is understanding the, just a second. It is getting in the way, the Zoom application. Yeah. So understanding the stock market data and technical analysis. So for the content part, we'll first discuss what is stock market, then why the need to analyze the data, what is there to analyze about. Now, then we'll look into a stock application, and then different technical indicators or analysis tools we'll look into. Then for one of the tools, I have represented it in the Excel sheet. Then there would be conclusion and reference slide at the last. Now, what is stock market? So a stock or share represents the ownership in a company. Like a user or trader buys a share of a company that is made public by the company, right? So stock market is a place where a person could buy these stocks or shares, and stock prices changes depending upon the number of buy or sell of the stocks of a particular company. And if the company if for a company there are way more sells, then it would go down and down immediately. Now shareholders wants to make profit from these from taking the ownership of the shares of the companies. So profits are made when a share is sold at a higher price than the purchased value. Like if I today I bought share of for 10 rupees. It's a hypothetical situation. So and I sold it tomorrow at 15 rupees, so I get a profit of 5 rupees. So that's what profit means in the share market. Now, why is the need of analysis of data? So we'll get to know the reputation of a share. What do I mean by reputation of a share? So reputation of a share is whether whether buying this share would make me a profit or not, right? So this is what I mean by the reputation of a share. Now, so it is a deciding factor for profit. If I bought a share at a time that when there is a peak to the stock prices, then it's automatically uh, my fault that I didn't analyze it before, and I'm getting a loss. So the it is a very crucial point to have to decide whether I'll make a profit or not. Now, it as I discussed right nearly that it gives us a point of at which we should buy the share. Not optimal, but near optimal. So now let's look into a typical stock application, right? So for that, yeah. So this is what a typical stock application looks like. So here is the name of the company. Then we can choose between the 1 day, 1 week analysis of the stock, then per minute or per minute value of the share, when it started, opening price, high, low, etc., etc. So this is what a typical application look like. So now let's look into a different technical indicators or analysis for the stock market or stocks. So moving average is a very simple way of analyzing uh, the stocks. So what it does is it gives a line chart for the average price of a definite for a definite interval. Now, in the image itself, you can see there is a 50-day simple moving average. Now, what it does is for 50 days it takes the average, and then uh, like that it uh, uh, plots the line chart. So with this we can imagine, or we can analyze that if the stock is profitable or not. So there are many kinds of moving average charts like this. In this there is a simple moving chart. We have exponential moving chart average also. So what it does is it gives more priority to the nearer future than the afar. And so it is a good way to get to know about the reputation of a given stock, like I talked about earlier, right? So relative strength index. So this is a momentum oscillator. So what it does is it calculates or measure the speed of the change of price momentum, right? So when the this RSI value is over 70, then it means that there are overbought. What does that mean? Then more uh, more people have bought the shares than the average amount. And if the RSI value is less than 30, then it means that the more people have sold these stocks than average, right? So yeah, next up is moving average, convergence and divergence, MECD for short. Now what it does is it is a trend following momentum indicator for EMA. So what is EMA? EMA is exponential moving average. So as I talked about it earlier, it gives more priority to the nearer future. That's why it is called the exponential moving average, right? So MACD is calculated by subtracting the long term in the sense ki 26 periods EMA by from the short term, which is 12 period EMA. Then there is Bollinger bands. So it gives us the some kind of bandwidth in which the stock should be, so that we could buy it or we can have some kind of profit. So there is upper limit and the lower limit. So we can see in the image itself how to calculate it. And when the bands come together, one of the way to analyze this Bollinger bands is if the band comes together, meaning BOLU value is nearer to BOLD value, then it means it is squeezing, which means that the stock is non-volatile, which in turn means that the stock prices are not fluctuating as much, right? So this is Bollinger bands. So the shaded part is the band itself. So the values inside the this band would indicate that, yeah, there is a good possibility of getting profit. Now let's look into one of the analysis tool. Uh, so this is stock data that I was given in the earlier tasks for the Bank of Baroda stock. So what I have done is I have plotted 1 day average, moving average, simple moving average graph. In this, the blue lines is the real time opening prices, and the red line that is going there is 1 day average. So you can see how we can utilize it, and it gives us an average uh, uh, by which we can analyze the data, right? Now, so let's conclude our presentation. So analysis is very important, as we have seen. It could make profit or make loss also if we don't analyze the stock carefully. Different analysis tools are available, and there are many more. These are not the only ones. There are many more, and we can take advantage of it in our application or somehow in our daily life. So it depends on individual to which tool he prefers or he is able to understand more, right? So for the reference section, I have done my most of the research from the Investopedia, and it is a very good site, very detailed information about these topics. Now, thank you very much. If you have any question, you can ask me, or you can mail me later on the given email address.
Right, so it's done, right?
Hello?
Yeah, Kartik, is it over?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's talk about the first presentation. Okay, so
Yeah, just a second. Yes, sir.
yeah, so talking about the SRS,
Yes, sir.
uh, there was a good hook story. You had a very good hook story. Then there was a good introduction. Your demo part was also well explained, and your PPT formatting is very good as well. So in all, these presentation was very well explained and very well formatted. Okay,
Yes.
I believe you covered everything. You could have used flow charts because it's an SRS document, right? So
Okay.
flow chart would be more informative many times.
Okay.
Okay, so I believe that could have been like improved. Rest you did include everything, and talking about the second one, like
Yes,
the
sir.
stock market data, right?
Yes.
So you know you again a very good introduction and a good hook story. So when you were talking about stock market data and analysis and everything, so you could add like from where you get the stock data, like from where the source,
Okay.
in your overview of projection of this, you see like you get it from news
Yeah.
API or
Yes.
Alpha Vantage,
Definitely.
right? Yeah, so you could have talked about them because from where are you getting this stock data which you're talking about, right? So that
Okay.
could have been added. Rest, yeah, again this PPT was well formatted and you included everything. Good introduction, good story, and the ending part was very well explained as well. As
Yes.
I explained, you could have added that, and you know it was like technical analysis, so the demo part was explained as well. Good, but when you were showing the data, na, then you could have just zoom in the data. You would just explain the graph part of the demo, and you
Okay.
left out the data
The
which was,
data. Yeah.
yeah, you could have just shown the what were the columns
Yeah.
of the data.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Yes.
I believe that was just missing, and the rest it was well explained. So both the presentations were very well explained.
Yes. Thank
Okay,
you.
yeah, sure. Uh, yeah, do you have any queries?
No, sir. No, sir. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Believe there's no more presentation left. Yeah, Khateja, do you have any query?
No, sir, I was observing others.
Okay, okay. You do know, right? If you have completed the presentation, you can leave, or else you can stay.
Yes, sir, I know.
Oh, okay, then that's fine.
I was just observing others. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, sure, sure. Right. So since we don't have any more presentations left for this day, we'll be concluding our presentation session as well as the discussion session. And a very good evening, everyone, and thank you.